Family dinners are supposed to be warm, safe, full of laughter and love. But sometimes they become battlefields where silence is sharper than swords. That night at my parents' dining table, I wasn't just eating dinner, I was preparing to change my life, forever, because for years I was the afterthought. The invisible daughter, the one told to sacrifice smile and stay silent. But that night, they learned what happens when silence sharpens into steel. My name is Lydia. I grew up in a family where favoritism wasn't hidden. It was paraded like a trophy. My brother Nathan was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. If he wanted something, my parents bent over backward to make it happen me. I was just expected to survive on scraps. Every decision, from who got the better bedroom to who received financial help, was tilted in his favor, and the worst part was how casual it all felt to them, as if my feelings never mattered. I learned young that if I wanted anything, I would have to earn it myself. I worked harder than anyone I knew. 3 jobs through college. No vacations. No luxuries. I built brick by brick a duplex that became my pride, my future, my independence. It wasn't just a building. It was proof that I mattered. Proof that I could stand without anyone's help. So there we were that night. The smell of roasted chicken filling the air, the clink of glasses around the table, and then came the sentence that sliced through me like glass. When we move into your duplex, Lydia, I want the master bedroom renovated. It's only fair since we'll be living there long term. The words came from Victoria, Nathan's wife. She leaned back in her chair, smirking as if this was already settled. And my parents nodded. Of course they did. Because if Nathan wanted, it was his, always his. My father raised his wine glass as if making a toast to my defeat. Your brother has a family now, Lydia. He needs stability. You'll figure it out. You always do. The emphasis on family stung harder than any insult, as if my sacrifices, the years of skipped meals and late nights, didn't make me family. As if all that mattered was Nathan's happiness. I felt the walls closing in, that familiar, suffocating weight of being dismissed, ignored. But something inside me shifted. That night, because they didn't know what I had built in silence. They had no idea what storm was about to break. I looked up, my voice steady. When were you planning to move in? Victoria smiled, smug and sure. Next weekend. We've already started packing. That was it. They thought it was already theirs, but I had been preparing for this moment for years. I reached into my purse and slid a cream-colored envelope across the table toward Nathan. Then you might want to read this first. He tore. It opened with the same arrogance he always carried, but I watched his smirk fade, replaced by confusion, then shock. What do you mean it's not yours anymore? I leaned back, my voice cool as ice. It belongs to my company now, and my company doesn't do free rentals. The room fell silent. Victoria snatched the paper, her voice trembling as she read aloud, controlled by Lydia Holdings. My father scoffed, almost choking on his drink. You Holdings, don't make me laugh. I let him laugh because the punchline was coming. Remember when you mocked my online jobs? I asked. Those late nights, those clients you said would never pay off. They built my business, and now that business owns half the city. For the first time in years, I saw color drain from my mother's face, because suddenly, the daughter they dismissed wasn't powerless anymore. But I wasn't finished. I pulled out a second envelope, dropped it onto the table. Nathan ripped it open, his hands trembling. This is an eviction. Notice, he whispered, effective immediately. I nodded calmly. No permission, no lease, no respect, then you get treated like trespassers. Victoria shot up her chair, scraping against the floor. You can't do this to family. I leaned forward, my eyes locking onto hers. Family. You laughed at me, ignored me, starved me of love while handing Nathan everything. Not anymore. My father slammed his hand down. Enough, Lydia. Enough of this performance, but I smiled coldly. Oh, we're just getting started. I reached into my purse one last time. A black envelope sealed with gold. My mother tore it open, her face paling as she read. This says you bought Dad's company. Piece by piece, I said. While you mocked me, I was buying. Every share the family company is mine now. The room erupted. My father shouting. Nathan shaking with rage. Victoria demanding answers. But I stood calm, collected. The forgotten daughter now holding all the power. You thought I was weak, I said softly, tonight. You learned what it cost to underestimate me. This city, my name is on its deeds. You want a place to live. Start filling out rental applications like everyone else. And with that, I stood my heels clicking against the hardwood floor as I walked. Out, no longer invisible. No longer forgotten. 6 months later, my father's company thrived under my leadership. Nathan and Victoria lived in a modest rental across town. Ironically, they had applied for one of my properties, but I denied it without hesitation. Parents apologized eventually, but apologies can't erase years of neglect as for me. Lydia Holdings expanded into 3 more states. The girl they mocked became the woman they feared. So if you've ever been underestimated, dismissed, or treated as the afterthought, remember this. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Sometimes silence is the sound of power preparing its strike, and when it strikes, it echoes louder than any insult ever thrown. Never underestimate the silent ones. And that's the end of today's story. If you felt that revenge deep in your soul, make sure to hit like and subscribe. We drop more epic Reddit revenge stories every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next one.